All right, it's been a year since the experimental Titan submersible imploded en route to the Titanic. Still today, though, so many unanswered questions linger about this tragedy with no immediate answers. Today marks a year since the Titan vanished on its way to the historic wreckage site. And after a 5-day search that captured the world's attention, right? We all remember this. Officials say the craft had been destroyed. All 5 people on board were killed. One of those was Titan's owner and operator, Stockton Rush, billionaire Amesh Harding, father and son, Shazda and Suleiman Dawood, and billionaire Titanic diver Paul-Henri Nargeolet. Joining me now is Bill Willard. He's a Titanic expert and the creator of Titanic Con. He was also a friend of Paul's. Thank you for being with us today. Appreciate your time, and I'm sorry for the loss of your friend and the others.
P.H. Nargeolet was a legend among Titanic. He was a modern-day legend, and there's many people that are grieving that loss even today.
A year later, what are still some of the biggest questions that you have about this tragedy, Bill?
I'm sitting back and watching. My career as a physics instructor, and I have some ideas myself of what occurred, but I'm waiting for the official Coast Guard report. Already there's been fake information put out in the different networks that we have access to. There was a transcript that was proven to be a false transcript. So I fear more of that will happen until the official report comes out. So I'm going to wait on it to really absorb what happened.
You know, deep sea exploration is something that's important to a lot of adventure seekers like those on board the Titan submersible. How has this tragedy impacted the industry and pushing forward in exploration?
Well, currently, there are very few devices that can go down to 4,000 meters, the depth where Titanic is. Bismarck is at 6,000, so there are, again, very few submersibles that can go to that depth manned. A lot of people are shifting to the unmanned technology. It's safer.
Was Paul aware of the dangers on board this particular submersible?
PH had been in that vessel numerous times. I'm sure he was aware of everything that was happening. And if anybody could have done anything, it would have been PH. He would have been able to come up with something if anything could have happened. He absolutely would have been aware of the dangers of diving to those depths.
Right, and part of the adventure is pushing the envelope, but safety has to come first in every situation. And there's more, as you say, Bill, that we'll learn. What does accountability also look like as we start to get some of these questions answered about what was missed or possibly ignored?
In every tragedy, people look for a target. They look to place blame somewhere. And that's what's going to happen in this situation, as it does in all of them. I think the wise will look at the findings and say, what can we do to avoid this from happening ever again, so that we prevent it, so that we don't have to go through this horrific 5-day story, as you mentioned a few minutes ago, where many of us were up hours and hours just listening for updates from the Atlantic. And that's what I think the number one thing should be, is to fix what happened so that it doesn't happen again.
How about communication on board these vessels? Has that improved? And what are some ways that when these adventures take place, we are in better communication when something does go wrong with those who are directly impacted?
If you have a good system, you can communicate very quickly. It all depends on what type of a communication system you put into your submersible and the mother vessel up on the surface.
You know, at the end of the day, Bill, should people be going down this deep into the water? I mean, should this envelope be pushed based on what has happened?
Should is a question that I cannot answer. I know it will continue. There will be others that will want to go to see Titanic. They have the legal right to do so. And as you said, people will push envelopes.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.